If you're a guy still on a dating app in 2025, the question I would ask is why? What's the stats? How many swipes does it take you to get a date? And then when the dates that you did get, what did you get out of those dates? Answer that question, and that will determine if you should still be on those dumbass dating apps. Let's get right into it, man.
Subscribers add their height preferences to the profiles. After a Reddit user posted a photo of the new height settings in the Tinder app, the company spokesperson confirmed to TechCrunch that the discovery setting has been launched as a global test. As if short kings needed a harder go at the dating apps. Tinder Gold and Premium subscribers in the test group will have access to the feature, but not free users, we're told. In addition, the setting will be indicating a preference rather than a functioning as a hard filter, the company says. They can say that, but if we're going to be honest about this, you know that the filter is going to be a hard filter. And now, meaning that if a woman sets 6 foot, will it pull in a guy that's maybe 5'10 or 5'11? Maybe. That's their soft filter. And you can see here they got Premium, Discover, Tinder Platinum. Preferences show you people.
So, pretty much how to combat this. If you still decide to be on a dating app in 2025 as a guy, which I think it's pretty retarded, but if you want to be one of those retarded ones and you're still on there hoping, high off hopium, then I would suggest you not put your height there at all, especially if you're, below 6 feet. If you're below 6 feet, there's no point in putting your height, okay? Even if you are like 6 foot flat, I still wouldn't even put your height. I would really only put your height if you're like 6'3 plus. Then it's kind of like bragging rights. But the way these bitches think these days, they even be thinking like 6'2 is fucking short, bro. So you can't put your height, you can't play their game. If that makes sense. Focus, bitch.
Match your vibe, but won't limit what you see. You'll still be able to match with people outside your selections, which, let's be honest, no one wants that. If I want a woman under 125 pounds or 130 pounds and you start showing me 160s, I'm probably going to complain that the filter system is broken.
Yeah, and there should be a filter for that. If we get filtered out for height, we should get filtered out for weight. And there should be an AI that scans the photos to see how authentic the photos are, and if they aren't taken at weird angles, or if they don't have tons of filters or tons of makeup. How about those filters? How about those apples? Yeah, but they won't do that shit, huh? Yeah, that'd be fair game, right?
They say height,
Assholes.
new, any height. Of course, they don't show the slider with the actual numbers on it. Minimum number of photos, which I think is acceptable. Has a bio, that's acceptable. Looking for, open to, and add languages, all that's acceptable. And I think, honestly, I have a problem with the height filter only because it's one way. If they also put in a weight filter, I'd actually be fine with a height filter. I don't think I have any problems in the fact that you're adding more filters to it. That's a good way to find out who you want to date and maybe get someone of your preference, and then you don't feel like you're wasting time. But if I, as a man, put in a filter of less than, and I'm just picking an arbitrary weight, let's just say 135 pounds, or for those of you in the UK, let's say I said 60 kilos or 62 kilos or whatever, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But they go to the height, which preferences women, and they don't put in the weight or any other things for the men. That's the real issue with this.
Yeah.
We're always listening to what matters most to our Tinder users. No, you're not, or you'd actually have some sort of more verification so guys could find fatties. Just saying. But that would eliminate like 70% of all female Tinder users because everybody's overweight right now. And testing the paid height preference is a great example of how we're building with urgency the clarity and focus, said Phil Prince Fry, VP Comms at Tinder, in an emailed statement. This is part of a broader effort to help people connect more intentionally on Tinder. Our new product principles guide every decision, and this one speaks directly to a few, prioritizing user outcomes, moving fast, and learning quickly. Not every test becomes a permanent feature, but every test helps us learn how we can deliver smarter, more relevant experiences and push the category forward. Here's how this gets implemented as a permanent feature if more women pay to filter out the short men. No lies. That's exactly how this will go. This will become permanent if that happens. If women say, I get enough matches and, I don't mind swiping through a couple extra guys, because there's the short kings. I'm not going to pay. And if they don't pay and Tinder doesn't find they make any.
Why do like, I'm just curious why society, and especially like, I mean, it's always been this way, but I feel like it's gotten like worse as time going on. What's up with the fucking getting the hard on for like height? Like, oh, because someone's tall, you think they can fucking fight and they can protect you? Is that what it is? Well, you're mistaken. If anything, actually, the best fighters are probably under in the world are actually probably under 6 feet tall. So I mean, it just I just don't understand the obsession with this thing that like has no merit, because you just who it depends on how tall your parents were, and that's how pretty much how tall you end up in most cases. Has no merit. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can control. Kind of same thing with looks. I don't know, man. It's just, I feel like we're just shifting into like a black pill era where really pretty much all the things that you can't control hold the most weight in your life, and what you can do, your ability and all that stuff doesn't matter. All that matters is pretty much how you just exist and look. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that kind of sounds like some bullshit.
Money out of this, it'll go the way of the dodos, because they're really doing this not to help women, not to help users, not to harm men. They're just doing it to make more money.
Yeah.
While typically dating apps let users filter for people by more traditional concerns like someone's age or whether they want a long-term relationship or kids, the height setting is likely to cause more controversy and concern. Since the rise of online dating, a focus on someone's physicality, like their looks or size, has become a primary factor in determining who's worth a match. Tinder helped accelerate this trend thanks to its user interface, which puts a heavy emphasis on looking through people's photos. In addition to exposing people's preferences for the conventionally attractive, dating apps' popularity led to a culture where a bias towards taller men became the norm. It's not uncommon to come across profiles where women state they're only looking for matches or at least 6 feet tall, for instance, even if in real life they'd be more flexible about this requirement. Tinder's even poked fun at this trend in previous years when it made an April Fool's Day announcement that it would introduce a height verification feature in its app. Many men didn't find this particular joke funny.
Yeah, I mean, same thing that goes with the weight verification feature. So, you know, like, look, Tinder, you fucking asshole. Honestly, you're lucky there's just people that are fucking still dumb enough to use your stupid ass app. But we should all come together. And I mean all 790 of us. That's how many subs we got right now. And fucking work on revolting the ban Tinder. But really on some real shit, I wonder what it would take for everyone just to say, you know what, fuck this shit. Drop Tinder altogether, drop dating apps. But like, most guys still just be high on hope. They be high on that dumbass hope shit. And Tinder's still making billions off your misery and you not getting matches. You not getting any dates. And if you do get a date, it's with a damn fucking overweight seal. And you're actually a decent looking guy, but you still can't get a date. But you still are on this app, you dumbass you. Yeah, and if you are still on this app, you are a dumbass. Bitch.
Clip I'm actually going to show, and I'll talk about this in a minute. This is from ABC News. They did an expose on shorter men and dating and things like that, and I'm going to play it. Now, for those of you on YouTube, I don't know if that means I'm going to get a copyright zing on it, and it means I have to cut it out of the video. If it does, it is available over on Locals to supporters, and it is available over on my channel Odd Man Out on Rumble, and there they don't zing me for anything, so you get verification. They have no problems in joking about men's height. They think it's funny. However, if they were to put an April Fool's joke out about women's weight, women would have a meltdown, and they actually care. They'd actually be concerned about that because women would be offended. Why don't they care about men's height even when we're offended? Because men don't boycott, because men don't throw fits, because men don't go on social media tirades, because most men aren't working for the journalists that are out there writing the news, and so it would mostly go unnoticed. Because let's be frank, we got better things to do than protest and be angry about things, and we can just move on with our lives.
Yeah, like watch porn, or do drugs, or all that other stuff. Let's be real, a lot of guys ain't really on shit, but that's not the real reason. The real reason is that they just genuinely don't care. Even if guys did boycott and shit, they wouldn't give a shit. End of the day, The app is really designed for women, but the thing is, though, they really should give a shit. I don't even know why they're coming at guys, because guys are the ones that are paying on this app anyway. So it's kind of backwards, right? When guys are the ones that are making the most of their fucking money. It's the guys on here, not the fucking chicks. So whatever, though, right?
Women won't. They get offended by the least little thing. And that's why it's so popular to dig on men, but not women. As a matter of fact, they say the company may hope that the addition of a height setting could encourage more women to use and pay for the app, which tends to be more heavily dominated by men, both in the U.S. and internationally. Paid subscribers across Match's dating apps fell to 14.2 million in the first quarter, down from 14.9 million users a year ago. The company is in the middle of another CEO transition, with Match's CEO Spencer Raskoff set to run Tinder late in this summer. They're doing this because the other Tinder CEO, Faye Iosotoluno, the CEO of Tinder, is going to step down in July, because they're losing money hand over fist. The eventual problem, and where most of these dating apps are going to completely fall off, guys are just finding better things to do with their money. These things cost $15, $20, $25, up to $50 a month, and guys are not getting any results out of this. And so they get a new user, he jumps on there for a month or two, he maybe spends $100, $150 or gets the premium, tries it for a year, and then he's off it. And not only is he off it, he's off it for life. He's never coming back. He's never paying for it again, if he's smart, that is. Yeah. And maybe he ends up going to spend money on OnlyFools or something, where he at least can see a woman without clothing. I don't know. And the younger generations are growing up and they say, I need a real experience. Or they're using Instagram, or they're using Tinder or X or other interfaces that actually give you a little bit more of a nuanced, personable greeting versus judging somebody off their perfect photos and their height profile. How bad's the dating bias in dating? To put it simply, very bad. Various studies examining women's height requirements for romantic partners indicate the preference leans quite tall. A study published in Personality and Individual Differences concluded most women want a partner who's 21 centimeters taller than them, which is a little bit over 8 inches. The average height of a woman in the United States is 5'4". That literally puts it at 6 feet. Yeah. That's why if the average height is 5'4" and all the women want 6 foot, it's going to average out to 8 inches. Now, yes, does that mean that there are 5 foot tall women out there that would date somebody 8 inches? Sure. That means a 5 foot woman wants a guy that's 5'8". What happens to the guys that are 5'7", 6'5"? You're out. I'm going to, and same thing, height obsession. This is from BuzzFeed. I know they're trash article. They do go on to say, however, why some people state on their profile they prefer taller men. And they say here, Rachel, who's 25 years old and 5'5", prefers men to be her height or way taller, said that the increased stature eases any self-consciousness about her body shape and size, making intimacy feel more fulfilling and less...
Hold up. And that the increased stature eases any self... That don't even fucking make sense, man.
So she's basically saying, I want a much bigger man, even though I'm only 5'4", or whatever it is. Why do these women want these much bigger guys? Because the women themselves are becoming big. They're getting fat. I looked up a couple years ago, and I haven't talked about this stat in a while, but here in the United States, the average weight of a woman is 170 some odd pounds now, and she's 5'6". That's heavier than me. And I'm 5'6", I guess, somewhere around 5'6", I think. And I make fun of myself as a dude when I get close to 170 pounds. These women are heavier than me. Granted, they got a few more curves than I do. I don't want to date a girl that's bigger than me. And I mean in the width department. Now, would I date a 5'10" slender supermodel? You betcha. Sure I would. Because I don't like the chonky girls. Here's something else to keep in mind. I have no hate on women whose preferences are, I want a 6 foot tall guy. That's fine. Go date 6 foot tall guys. That's 10% of the population. All of you can fight over the same men. In the meantime, there are very successful, very happy, very charming, very funny men out there that are shorter that are never given the opportunity. And if that's your preference, fine. But I don't want to hear one more word about body positivity and why men need to accept big girls and why fat shaming's bad. I don't want to hear it. In this article, or in this video that I'm actually going to play from ABC, they actually laugh about the short men's situation. Do they laugh about big girls? They don't even talk about big girls because they don't care. They don't really care. If a man doesn't like a big woman, he's a misogynist. If a woman doesn't like a small man, that's her preference. But the laughing part of this, all the way through a lot of this, is especially of these interviewers of, well, boy, you have it shitty, don't you? And the guy, and I'll give it to the guys. At least the guys are like, yeah, we do, and we're used to it. Let me play this. You'll see what I mean.
We asked her to help us construct an experiment to test just how willing women are to date shorter men. And we found 3 brave volunteers.
This
Stu is the
looks like it's
shortest.
from fucking 1993.
I'm 5 foot and 5'5" with the afro.
Rob is 5'3". David is getting married this fall.
She is 5 feet tall.
And you are?
I'm 5'6".
Oh, well.
Yeah, giant, right?
I agree with that. That is pretty brave. That's tough for these guys. But you also notice all of them are quick with the smiles, quick with the jokes, very personable. The one guy that is getting married that's 5'6", his wife is going to be 5 foot tall. That's a 6-inch difference. And this is going back, I think, 40-ish years ago, back in the mid-1980s. How much crazier has it gotten since then?
We recruited other men about the same age as David, Stu, and Rob, but taller. We asked them all to dress in jeans and a sweater, and then we did something cruel. We put them in lineups 5 at a time behind a 2-way mirror. The men couldn't see or hear what was going on in the next room. That's where we invited groups of women to look at the men and choose a date.
Would they do the same where they put a room of fat women in there for men to come in and judge them? And would they...
There's no point in even making that, because obviously not, bro. Obviously, women are treated like little children that just can't be touched and can't be bothered with, and men are the ultimate punching bags of society and the disposable sex, but at the same time, the fucking sex that keeps the whole fabric of society together. I mean, just make it make sense. So, yes, men ultimately really yield all the true power in society, yet are the ones that are made fun of and ultimately are the ones that are seen as disposable. I mean, it just, I don't know, something just doesn't really add up, you know? Assholes, whoever came up with this fucking, like, society and this fabric, and whoever's doing Geppetto with the strings up there, you dickheads. Like, I don't understand why you guys are fucking doing this. Like, you can't keep getting away with this. Why are they dividing men and women? Why are they fucking always doing this? Why are they always making men feel like they're never good enough? Assholes. Fuck, man.
Hey, we did something cruel to these women. No, the whole entire experiment would never be done. But if they did it, it wouldn't be judging the women. They would make the story about the cruel men who have awful preferences to these beautiful and bold and strong and amazing women. You know how that's how they would phrase an experiment like this. It would be the men judging the women that would be the evil ones. In this case, it's cruelty to the men, because the poor men.
When Andrea told us women like doctors, we gave him an MD. No, Rob. We piled on some more assets. We said besides being a doctor, he was also a best-selling author and champion skier who just built his own ski house.
Does that affect your choices?
He's still short.
We made him chief of
You're
staff at
still
a prestigious
ugly.
hospital.
Who would you pick him?
Angie's probably the closest to who I'd pick. I'd pick Matt.
What would it take to get a date for Stu at just 5 feet? First, we made him an up-and-coming actor.
No. No. Not.
Then we said Stu had made millions by age 25. Nothing worked.
How come nobody picked Stu?
He's too short.
Too short. Too short?
We asked if there was anything we could add to make Stu irresistible.
Is it possible
Shit,
that
honestly,
Stu...
all y'all girls are too ugly, bro, because I would say no to all you 80s ugly hoes. Yeah, 100%. I do believe I'm better than you. Yeah, reality check. You know, and a lot of these chicks out here, even in today's day and age, they think they're all that, but, you know, statistically speaking, most people are average. And at the end of the day, most of you girls are average. And you're even average with painting all this shit on your face, assholes.
We'll find somebody. It is. It really is. But I'm going to pick on somebody in the men's community, and I'm going to pick on Myron Gaines over at Fresh and Fit. They do their podcast. And, you know, oftentimes these guys say, well, you got to level up. You got to hit the gym. You got to wear expensive watches. You need to show you have money. You need to put yourself out there and game the system a little bit. They made these shorter guys CEOs, doctors, millionaires, a champion skier, which means he's an athlete, maybe a gold medalist, and it didn't matter. There is a certain point in time, and where this does differ from women a little bit, is that there are women that will still have, I mean, there are morbidly obese women that'll still have men hit on them. Yes, I'm not saying these guys are cream of the crop by any means, but I have seen profiles where people have put up overweight women that had, you know, a little bit of chin hair, and there were still guys trying to talk to them. In this case, you can make yourself as great as you want to. And when you're going to be judged like this, whether it's in a room like this or it's out in the open, you're going to have a very, very hard time. But it's not going to certainly happen on these apps. It's not going to happen when you're judged without having somebody to talk to you. But what if you are this guy? And I do these type of videos. I'm not a big guy. Most of you know that. I'm not a tall guy. I have had some success in dating throughout my life. I've never really struggled in dating because of my height. But it has been challenging. And also for some of you that are 5'2", 5'3", 5'4", you'd say, yeah, dude, but you're 5'6". You know, I'd like to be 5'8". Someone that's 5'8" would like to be 6 foot tall. We all have our issues, right? I don't do these kind of videos to make you feel bad about yourself. There's nothing wrong with being short. It is literally not anything you can do about it in the world other than breaking and stretching your legs or wearing lifts. That's not the point of this. The whole point of this is to say, you got what you got. And you can make of it as much as you want to. And if you find you're struggling, and if you find you're unhappy because you're shorter or whatever, you got two routes. You can give in and try to get some lifts and try to fool women into liking you enough that they find out you're really short and you kind of lied, and maybe they'll still date you. Or you can come to terms with the fact that you are what you are, and then you just got to do your best in life. And sometimes that means not finding a woman. Sometimes that means getting passed over for a promotion, because tall people, and they actually talk about it in this other article, where they actually talk about the stigma of height and how men that are taller, it's easier for them to get elected into positions of government. It's easier for them to become CEOs or prominent positions in a company. They make more money. And that's why the bias as well against, well, people of this skin color have it hard, or women have it harder, or insert demographic or insert thing here. The truth is, we all have something that can challenge us. Now it's kind of in vogue to be bald, but you know, when you're this guy, the guy with the receding hairline here, let me rewind it just a little bit. You know, whether you're this guy at 5 foot tall, or whether you're this other gentleman who's also short and here in the center, and he has a receding hairline. You know, at a certain point you say, the world's against me. I have no hope. I have no chance of anything. This all sucks. Screw it. Yeah, I mean, that's one way you can look at it. Or you can look at it and say, it is what it is, right? Everybody has a different struggle. And for you that are short, challenged, or overweight, or skin color, whatever, you're going to have to find a way to circumnavigate it, because we've all got issues. I put this in this segment specifically to show you
issues society fucking created. Issues society created when, I mean, I don't know if society was smart enough to realize that, you know, everyone's unique, so why should we even compare skin color, height, all that bullshit is all man-made shit that was created. People don't just come out the womb and be like, it's learned behaviors. This programming, they can't keep getting away with this.
That it's not to take you down a peg. It's just to show you that sometimes there's some things that just you didn't win the genetic lottery, and you're going to have to fight through it. And these women will laugh at short guys. They will insult them. They will have giggles about it. But if the same women that are laughing at these short guys saying, no, I wouldn't, he's too tiny, if it were reversed and men were in a room judging morbidly obese women, and they said, no way, man, she'd smother me if she rolled over on top of me, you know, the news agency would say, you can't say that. The double standard that's going on here is also a reality. You're never going to undo that either. You can rage about it, like I am right now. You can rage about it. You can be mad about it. But you can't fix it. That's just not going to happen.
Millions by age 25. Nothing worked.
How come nobody picked Stu?
He's too short.
Too short. Too short?
We asked if there was anything we could add to make Stu irresistible.
Maybe the only thing you could say is that the other four are murderers.
Right, or convicted of some crime. That would definitely
Or psychotic.
Right.
But no.
Okay, so here the women.
Take a long look at these hoes. Yeah, I know it's the 80s before work could be done and like before social media, but end of the day, you look good or you don't, whether it's in the 80s and the fucking 1300s. So check this out. Asian bitch, ugly white hoe, another ugly white hoe. Yeah, it's like that. Since you guys want to judge men so harshly, yeah, you can't take... I'm not like, bitches don't judge me. I'm a decent looking guy. But at the end of the day, I'm tired of them talking shit about other guys that may not be that attractive. That shit pisses me off. So I wanted to say that just before any bitch says who hurt you. Look, bitches find me attractive, but I don't like the fact that you're so judgmental about other people. It's not cool.
And say the only thing you could add to make them choose the short man is if the other three were convicted felons or they had done some really egregious bad things that I probably just had to bleep out on YouTube. The other issue that's happening now is women are admitting, I don't care if he's got a bad past or if he's a criminal. They'll be the first ones to say, it's great of you to admit your past mistakes, and what's done is done. And if you're ready to move on with your life, I'll overlook it. So women will still chase the bad boys and the good-looking guys and the tall guys and the rest of it, even skipping his bad past. These women today don't care. They will not go to the shorter
100%.
guy or the heavyset guy or the ugly guy or the poor earning guy if it means the other guy's got a criminal past. They don't care now. No. So even these shorter guys have lost that advantage today.
But no takers. So we replaced Stu with David to see if 5'6" made a difference. When they all picked this fellow, we told them he'd been unemployed for 2 years, but that our David was a chief surgeon.
I guess it would be David for me.
Yeah. Two took David right away, but Tara chose Jim, whom we'd made a high school gym teacher.
Would it change anything if I told you that David is extremely
She's actually like the only like good looking one.
wealthy?
Yeah, I'd switch to David real quick. I mean, let's be realistic. I'm gonna bag the gym teacher now.
You have to make those short guys
Fucking
almost
goofies.
like God to make them desirable, right?
We finally made him God, and that's when
They're laughing about it. I think that's the most insufferable
Look how
part.
big this chick's ears are, bro. Like, look at this, bro. Like that's... I mean, I don't know, man. I'm making a kind of goofy face right now, but it looks a million times better than that bullshit that you see on the screen.
This
Wow.
whole interview, they're laughing about it. Overweight women being judged, and men were laughing about it. There'd be outrage. It's the one-way street is always so insufferable, but it is what it is. Let's just be frank. It is what it is. If the women are going to find it funny, you're not going to change them any. Let's be honest about it. And even they admitted
I find
in
the
the
lack
end,
of self-awareness
we
funny.
had to make them gods for them to be desirable. I know this is a kind of a hot take. This is not an unattractive woman. And making the short guy a
She's the only
chief
attractive
surgeon
woman
that's
there.
worth, I don't know, lots of money, and he's very successful, and he likes kids, and he's an author, and who knows what else they added on there. It still wasn't good enough for her. But when they said he was an exceptionally rich man, like a filthy rich man, only then did she move her preferences from, tall, relatively attractive gym teacher to him. And here's the problem that he's going to run into. Let's say she makes that decision, and he does actually date her, and he does actually marry her. With the divorce laws the way they are, what are the chances that she decides to leave him and take those resources and then go date or marry or do whatever with the tall gym teacher that doesn't make much money? Because her bag is set. She's got her cash and prizes, so now she doesn't worry about the financial part of it. She's got that, residual income coming in. Now she can date whoever she wants, and her preferences are going to go right back to the tall gym teacher. And no shade on this guy. It's not like he's exceptionally awesome. But remember, they're choosing out of 4 guys. What happens when you have these dating apps that you can choose from hundreds of men, thousands of men? It's very simple to become extremely picky. Guys, if you like my work, don't forget to join me on betterbachelor.locals.com. I got a great community of like-minded guys over there. It's behind a paywall. We do movie night. We do UFC fights. We do a television night, which we just did the other night. And if you're not into jumping on Locals and joining the community, you can at least get over to rumble.com. Watch my content over there on Odd Man Out. A lot of your favorite content creators have moved over there, and a lot of people don't know it yet. It's free speech. I mean, very, very unlimited free speech, to the point where I don't even have to edit my videos. I can just record, say things the way I want to say them, dump them on there, and people can enjoy it without me having to jump all through, having to jump through all the hoops.
All right, so let's check out these comments, man. It's bullshit. Obviously, I was triggered a lot, and so was the 16. They were 1,700 other comments. They were triggered as well. Add a body count filter, yeah. Weight filter, single mother filter, no makeup photo filter, 100%. Weight filter, body count filter, single mother filter, and most importantly, not only the student debt, but overall debt filter as well. Assholes. STI filter, OnlyFans filter, nose ring filter, tattoo filter, vaccination status filter, feminism filter, political leanings filter, grew up without a father filter, cheating on someone filter, demands 5-star dining on first date filter, photo with no makeup or filter. Yeah, if you want to play this game, bro, it could really get put back on them like a million times over. Like, honestly, it's some clowns. And listen, look at this shit. Look at this shit. Guys, listen to me. I'm tall as fuck. 6'6". Yeah, that is definitely tall as fuck. And above average looking. And even I couldn't get matched on Tinder. Do not go on dating. I'm assuming it says dating apps. Destroy my confidence and self-esteem. Tinder is nothing but bot single moms and catfish. So the last date I ever went on with Tinder, I remember the first question this bitch asked me, yeah, and she ended up being a fucking nasty bitch. She was farting and shit in my car. And she had like Gerber baby teeth. Yeah. Hopefully if she ever comes across this video, you see this video. Yeah. Talking about you, ho. Look, so check this out. First question she asked me was like, do you think I'm a catfish? So that's what we dealing with, man. Bottom of the barrel bullshit. My Tinder profile says prefer shorter, prefer petite. I get a lot of cows in my inbox talking shit. It's hilarious. 80% of men on Tinder were filtered out a long time ago. Every guy using that trash app should list their height as 12'6". Totally skewed the system to the max. Yeah, I don't know why people are being fucking honest about their height on there. Or even displaying their height if they're not legit, like, you know, like 6 foot up. They probably want women to pay for a premium too, since they won't pay any other way. I mean, yeah, we'll end with this. To be fair, not much will change. 90% of women will go for the top 10% of guys. 90% of men will still be completely ignored. The only difference is less time spent swiping for the girls. Remember, there's really no such thing as an incel, only hypergamy. I'll end it with that. That sounds pretty fitting.